Hi guys, Joanna speaking. Look at that. Lots of boxes, yes, and they are all about one and the same board game. As you can see, the Great Wall from Awaken Realms, and today I will show you everything what is inside these boxes. I will show you all components with details, and in this occasion I will tell you a little bit more about this game. As you can see, I have a core box, but I have expansions and stretch goals too, so a lot to show you. You can play on this game in competitive mode, cooperative mode, two-player mode and solo mode. And now I will show you the core box. If you are curious what the core box hides, check out the contents with me. First, a rulebook, but that I will show you later. Then there are 4 screens, one screen for each player. The screens will allow players to hide the carefully collected resources, their quantity and type. I like when something is a secret in a board games. And of course, the game will not take place without the board. This one is really big, 2 sides depending on the number of players. Okay, right, now look at each player's soldiers' miniatures in detail. Each player chooses a different clan, so he has a different color of his soldiers. In each clan, the miniatures also differ from each other. I mean, the archers or spearmen look different in each clan. And that's very cool. But it's not everything. We still have a lot of tokens here, including wire and shame tokens. We don't want the second ones, because when they run out, the game is over, and you know, who wants to be ashamed? But let's come back to the title of this game and the Great Wall itself. You have to piece together the individual levels of the wall. We will place our archers on the square slots at the top of the wall. And after a shoot, the archers will place wound markers on the section hit on the hordes cards. The resource tray is part of the plastic insert in the box. As you can see, it can be pulled out and placed on the table with an easy reach of all players. Each player has a variety of advisor cards to choose from. Each time you gain an advisor, you must decide to make it either active or supporting. When you decide active advisor, place his card face up, and now you may use his ability. Supporting advisor gives the strength to your general. Place card face down, and for each black icon on its back, your general can multiply his strength. So this is very important choice. After all, you know, they will advise us. You have a similarly large selection of horde cards. I mean, there are also a lot of these cards, but you don't choose them. The horde attacks by surprise, so you draw random cards from the horde deck. As you can see, each horde cards show several squares placed and symbols within them. These are rewards for inflicting wounds to the enemy. So, every time you send your soldier here, you can take the indicated resource or honor points. If we manage to kill the horde, I mean destroy the card, this happens when each space is occupied by soldiers or wound markers. The players who inflict the final blow will be rewarded. Just can take this card and at the end of the game, it's bring him extra honor points. So, collaboration is important, but, clever actions also pays off. The general cards, as you can see, will grant you unique abilities. As I said before, their strength is determined by the number of supporting advisors. At the bottom of this card, you can also see the starting resources and the number of tactic cards you draw at the beginning of the game. And the T symbol, the one with teapot, will slightly your initiative in this game. Event cards introduce various effects to the game. Sometimes they can be passive. Artifact cards provide strong abilities. You can get them during the game. These are Emperor's Required cards, provide objectives that the player must fulfill to win the game. These cards used in cooperative mode of this game. And finally, command cards are used by players to give orders to their clerks and soldiers. Each player, depending on the selected clans, draw a deck of these cards of the corresponding color. The Black Powder expansions brings new things to the game. New soldiers, hordes, war machines and structures. You find here 4 towers. These are a new type of defensive structures raised by builders to better react and fight with incoming hordes. Each tower can hold up to 1 spearman, so take a look at them. What's next? War machines. There are 3 different types of them. Each type has specific effect and a different building cost. Did I mention that you have a siege engine here? Also 3 types of each. Take a look at all of them. In my opinion, they look very powerful and dignified. Time to soldiers, as special ones. Each of them not only looks different, but has different skills. The cost of each is also different. Some of them are inexpensive units, like, for example, tank for Turtle's clan. But this expansion are not only miniatures, there are a lot of cards. For example, War Machine shot cards shows hit places. 6 brand new artifact cards will be helpful in the combat. Since we have siege engines, their ability cards will come in handy. As in any government, advisors are persons you need, and in this expansion there is a quite selection of them. Since there are 5 new special soldiers in this expansion, you will need help card for them. And someone has to be church, so meet 4 new generals. And finally, the new horde cards, along with your siege machines. Will they be able to break through the Great Wall? To be honest, it's up to you. Now take a look at the Ancient Beast expansion. It's a small box, but it contains powerful beasts. Ancient Beasts generate passive effects influencing different aspects of the game. Each of them is described on the corresponding card. At the start of their turn, an active player may upgrade any Ancient Beast on the board by playing their quiet cost displayed on the card of that beast. What worth to know, this Ancient Beast may be moved in 2 ways. After upgrading, the player may move that beast to any valid area on the board. The second option is using a relic card. Relic cards provide an additional way to move Ancient Beasts, but only 1 relic card may be active at a time. In this expansion, you have 8 new tactic cards. You should shuffle these cards into the tactic deck from core box and place them in its dedicated slot on the board. And of course, new advisors will be very helpful during the game. In this expansion, you have 12 new ones, so take a look of them. As you know, thanks to this expansion, you can meet Ancient Beasts. You have seen miniatures before, take a look at the ability cards and higher level conditions. Well, now we look at the stretch goals box together. Are you curious what the content looks like? So, here we have a 5th player screen. It will be useful for hiding resources, as you know. And of course, miniatures, lots of miniatures. Just take a look at all of them. In addition to great miniatures or so, this box also includes banner map, one for each player, so 5 different characters in 5 different colors. In this case, the 5 players gets his orange colored soldier set. Each player gets the same number of units of that type. New generals join the ranks of the army. And look, at the bottom of each general cards, you can see the set of starting resources that the player has to draw when playing as that character. Again, new hordes must not be missing, each with a different reward system, strength and special ability. In this case, to make this game even more interesting, there are also some scenarios. These scenarios introduce their own rules of the game as described on these cards, as well as the types of play and the number of players. You have seen the Iron Dragon at the beginning of this video. The set of him miniatures includes a small board and cards. While I'm showing the cards, take a look at the skill cards. After that, you can check out Emperor's Award cards. Tactics cards are divided into 2 card sections, each with a different ability. Rats, or I should say rat cards. And finally, a set of cards for the 5th player. This box also has a slot for advisors cards, so just take a look at them.